Quick message to the neurotypical spouses out there. And if you have been one of those spouses that if, oh, my autistic spouse doesn't have any emotion, there's no empathy, he's a hologram, he's a robot, he's an automaton, it's like being married to Mr. Spock, and that you think he's devoid of emotions, I got news for you. He needs love and understanding just as much as you do, as a highly sensitive, intuitive, neurotypical wife. Individuals with ASD, despite what's been widely written and talked about, do have emotions. In fact, I'll go so far as to say, more often than not, they're rich with emotion, not devoid of it. And I think the more modern literature is starting to reflect this in a more accurate way. Now, the difference, though, is their response, okay? They have emotion, of course, but they don't display emotion to the same degree or in the same way as neurotypicals. People on the autism spectrum, I can guarantee you, are often very lonely. They can be very anxious much of the time. Many of them are depressed, chronic low-grade depression as a result of feeling out of place in the world. So it would be great if you could begin the process of accepting the fact that you and your ASD spouse don't think alike. Never have, never will. And this means that you are likely to misunderstand one another chronically. Chronic misunderstanding. Now, if you wanted to, okay, well, he should understand me. He should know how I feel. He should know what he's supposed to do based on how I feel. He's being insensitive, uncaring, selfish, narcissistic, and sociopathic. If that's your train of thought, then you're going to take this chronic misunderstanding that has happened and will continue to happen as a personal insult. So that's really the message to this video here. Don't take the fact that you're chronically not on the same page as a personal insult. I'm not saying that it won't hurt at some level, but I'm saying you don't need to take it personally. So when your autistic husband, for example, says or does something that seems hurtful, you can trust that it was not intended the vast majority of the time. 98% of the time, the things that he says or does that are hurtful, and they are hurtful, there's no malicious intent behind there. And when you say or do something that he takes offense at, you can trust that he's misunderstanding you. So this misunderstanding goes both ways. So please begin the process of accepting that you don't experience life the same way. The two of you don't. His obstacles, interests, complaints, frustrations are likely to seem illogical to you. I've lost track of the number of times the NT wife has said, well, Mark, you say he's so logical. I don't think he's logical. Oh, he's very illogical. No, he's very logical. It's just that you don't understand his logic. Why? Because the two of you are wired differently. You don't understand his thoughts and feelings and logic any more than he understands yours. So stop it with the taking offense that because we are never on the same page, therefore I need to be distraught. Okay? Radical acceptance. Both of you are in the same boat in this marriage, but you're wired differently. So it would be best to, given the cards we've been dealt, this tough position that we're in right now, we have to extend grace and mercy and compassion to one another. Because if we don't do it to one another, nobody else is. We have to accept the fact that we chronically misunderstand one another, and we have to stop taking it personally. Today I want to talk to the neurotypical wives, and I have a question for you. Did you realize that your spouse with ASD may actually be afraid to discuss relationship difficulties with you? You probably knew that, right? Because whenever you tried to discuss relationship problems with him, he either gave you the illusion that he was listening, just to hurry up and get the conversation over with, or he did some version of a meltdown or a shutdown. So that should be evidence to you that he is literally afraid that the conversation, quote unquote, will deteriorate into yet another fight. Now, as you know, ASD level 1 or high functioning autism is a developmental disorder, which means that developmentally your spouse on the spectrum has a social emotional brain that is underdeveloped. In other words, he is low in social and emotional intelligence. This also means that his social and emotional needs are significantly lower than yours. So, when you want to discuss relationship issues with your ASD husband, you are, of course, going to be using your highly developed social and emotional intelligence as you try to make your points. Why wouldn't you? However, your ASD husband is listening with a highly logical brain that is also low in social and emotional competency. Therefore, he is not tracking your important message. It's like you are very fluent in German, but he speaks just a little tiny bit of German. So as you're talking, he's only understanding and retaining about 10% of the total information, and he knows it. The typical partner on the autism spectrum knows that he is not fully understanding what his NT wife is thinking and feeling, and this honestly in some cases makes him feel stupid. The NT wife eventually realizes that her husband doesn't get it. She feels as though she has wasted her time and energy in trying to make him understand what she needs, so she understandably complains that he doesn't get it and may even accuse him of not caring and not listening. So this complaint now downloads in the autistic brain as criticism, disrespect, and ridicule. So this is why the man with ASD hates having difficult conversations with his wife. Now he feels stupid and chastised. He may think something along the lines of this: I don't understand what she is saying or feeling, which makes me feel dumb, and then I get in trouble for being dumb. So maybe you can see why difficult conversations about relationship problems would be something that he dreads. And when the NT wife says something along the lines of, well, we need to talk, you can be assured that his anxiety instantly increases as he forecasts yet another bad outcome. That would be a heated argument that yields no solution. So many men on the autism spectrum have literally reported that they are afraid of their NT wife, and they have used that term, afraid. They know that when there has to be a discussion on relationship problems, they're not going to fully grasp her perspective, and they're also going to be in trouble for not being able to grasp it. So most often the ASD man will try to avoid these difficult conversations, and if that's not possible, he'll hurry up and agree to whatever you say purely to get the conversation over with as soon as possible, which instantly reduces his fear and the associated anxiety. I wanted to give a message to the guys on the autism spectrum, the husbands out there. Wouldn't have to be a husband, it could just easily be a wife who's autistic as well. Most of the people that I work with, it is the NT wife and the autistic husband, so that's why it seems lopsided like that with my videos all the time. But anyway, I'm going to be a little sarcastic about the NT wives right here. So the NT wives watching, please forgive me, because I'm going to bat for you right now. So message to the guys on the autism spectrum: when your wife is nagging and complaining and seems to be chronically hateful, I'm telling you that what's going on there is all fear-based. Fear-based. When she is complaining, whining, bitching, moaning, groaning, and seems to you to be just downright very hateful, resentful, angry. And by the way, these are your downloads, guys. I'm talking to the guys now with ASD. You're downloading it that way. I'm not accusing her of doing these things. But if you're downloading it that way, it might as well be that way. But I'm telling you what's going on, guys, is she's afraid. She may not want to admit that. Wouldn't matter to me. It's not going to change my mind. I know it's fear-based. People don't behave that way for no good reason. They don't behave that way unless there's some underlying fear and anxiety going on. What is she afraid of? She's afraid of losing the relationship. She fears disconnection. She's afraid that she's not going to get her emotional needs met. She fears that the marriage is going to sink like the Titanic. She fears that if there's kids involved, that those kids are not getting the emotionally available father that they need. And the list would go on and on and on. There might be financial concerns. There's going to be spiritual concerns. She's probably concerned for her physical well-being, since her emotional well-being suffers. So, and I could spend the next 10 minutes just listing the fears, which I'm not going to do. The message to this little video here, to the guys out there with ASD, your wife, NT wife, behaves in the way that you don't desire, we'll say, not because she doesn't care about you. It's the opposite of that. She cares about you. She's not behaving that way because she doesn't love you. It's the opposite of that. She's behaving that way because she loves you. She's not behaving that way because she's trying to destroy the marriage. No, she's trying to save the marriage. Now, she has an odd approach, and her message sucks a lot of the time. She has a great message, but her message delivery is raising your anxiety, and you're downloading her message delivery as a bunch of stuff that it is not. What it is fear-based. So the next time, which probably will be later today, that you're on the receiving end of a long, angry message from your NT wife, I want you to be thinking, okay, she's behaving this way because she's afraid of something. Maybe it was something I said or did that struck some fear in her. Maybe it's something I should have said or done and didn't, and it struck up some fear in her. Whatever it is, it's fear-based. The reason I want you to know that is because I don't want you to continue to download it as something else. You know, that she is purposely trying to be critical of me. She's purposely trying to chastise me and be parental and put me down, as if she was deriving some satisfaction from that. No. She's afraid. She's trying desperately to get you to reconnect, to give some emotional reciprocity, some give and take in conversation, show some compassion, give a little grace and mercy now and then. And when you don't, it strikes fear in her heart. That's why this behavior, guys. You get it? Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you. Hey guys, this is Mark. Click on the join button underneath any of my videos, then click on members only videos, and then click on join. And for $9.99 a month, you'll have access to members only videos, which are excerpts from previous workshops I've conducted for NT partners, ASD partners, and the neurodiverse couple. New videos will be uploaded weekly.